Okay, everyone, we're about to get started, and dessert will be, can I have quiet, please? We're about to get started, and dessert will be served while we get underway. I wanted to those new friends in the room who don't know me, I'm William Wolfe, president of the Drama Desk. I'd like to welcome members and guests to our luncheon and panel discussion. First, let me thank our volunteers who checked you in, Arlene Epstein, Susanna Bowling, and Roberta Zlakauer. And thanks to Sean Ricketts and the Sardi staff for their cooperation, and to Bob Bloom and Bernard Fox for arranging the extra mics and amplification here. Their excellent staff was here early doing it. And by the way, I just would like to introduce Bob to stand. Bob Bloom is our producer of our awards event, and we had a terrific one recently. So Bob, wherever you are, thank you. And while I'm doing that, I also want to mention that almost all of our nominators are here who did a terrific job during the last season. Barbara Siegel, chairperson, Richie Ridge, Gerard Raymond, and Paul Ann Simmons, and David Kaufman, and Patrick Cristiano, and Chris Byrne couldn't be with us today. But without these people, we would have had no awards and no events. They're out there practically every night in the week, all season long. So thank you all very much. And one more brief announcement. We have on the table for you to look at, and you have instructions of how you can order these. There's a book called Having Fun with Words and Wisdom. And it was written by our longtime member, Tom McMorrow, and illustrated by the very wonderful and distinguished theater artist who's been a former president of the Drama Desk and a longtime member, Sam Norkin. Sam? Our board of directors came up with the idea for today's very topical panel, and our moderator, Scott Siegel, has successfully put together this very distinguished group of theater people. The tradition is there. Scott Siegel wears multiple hats. He is, of course, a long-standing member of the Drama Desk, and he, along with his wife Barbara, are critics writing for Talkin' Broadway and Theater Mania. He is also creator, writer, and host of the very popular Broadway by the Year series at the Town Hall, which just celebrated its 10th anniversary with a terrific program. For those of you who don't know the series, Scott chooses various years and builds programs around songs from Broadway musicals of that particular year. He also presents the Nightlife Awards, has a movie preview class at the Town Hall, an annual cabaret convention, and various other events as well. Today, he is all ours. It's with great pleasure that I introduce Scott Siegel, who will introduce the panel and moderate. Scott?
Thank you, Bill. Very gracious of you. I appreciate it very much. Welcome, everybody. This is a panel that's devoted exclusively to musicals, and very specifically to the messages that musicals try to put over and try to make something out of what used to be a pure entertainment on Broadway. Maybe of the I Sing, 1933 was the first time that musicals started to get serious and satirical and try to send a message. And every now and then they did it, but in more recent years it seems like they do it all the time, and it's become more the norm than otherwise. So we're going to talk about that. But first, let me introduce this wonderful panel of people that I've come to speak with you. I'm going to be brief in these introductions. There's a tradition for these introductions to be like 20 minutes long, you know, and I figure Google is for that, you know. That's so I'm not gonna spend that much time. I'm going to just give you the barest highlights, because the reason they're here is because they're great and they're wonderful, and presumably you know who they are anyway. To my immediate right here is Christine Andreas, who's currently starring in La Topical. Christine is a two-time Tony nominee, and she's won lots of other awards. She's just one of the great musical theater artists of contemporary theater, so thank you, Christine, for being here. And next to Christine is Jeffry Denman, who is the choreographer of Yank, and one of the stars of Yank, that was a huge hit off-Broadway at the York Theater and is moving to Broadway. And Jeffrey has been in a variety of musicals. He's won awards for his choreography, for his acting. He is a huge talent and getting better and better known. And when Yank moves to Broadway, a larger audience is going to get to see the full range of his talent. And next to Jeffrey is Montego. I get to see where it's Montego Glover, who is, of course, as you know, just nominated for a Tony Award for her performance in Memphis, and she made her debut on Broadway in The Color Purple, and she's making her name left and right, and does concert work, and you should go to a website. It's got it all there, and that's what Google is for, as I said. Next to Montego is her co-star, the two stars of Memphis, Chad Kimball, who is also Tony nominated. I think all of you will remember him as Milky White in. All right. Everybody knows. See, I don't have to say so much. And next to Chad is Tom Kitt. Tom Kitt, who just won a Pulitzer Prize in addition to his Tony Award for composing the words and music to Next to Normal. And the amazing thing about Tom is that in addition to composing, he's constantly doing orchestrations for other shows. His name is almost ubiquitous in musicals the last few years. He's one of the hardest working composers and orchestrators in town, and we're glad to have him here. Thank you, Tom. And next to Tom is David Thompson, who wrote the book for the Scottsboro boys. And he has a long association with Kander and Ebb. He wrote the book for Steel Pier, wrote the book for Chicago. He's done a lot of work in the theater, and all of it distinguished. So David, thank you for being here, being part of this. And at the very end of the panel, he's always at the end because his last name is Zellnik, David Zellnik. David wrote the book and the lyrics for Yank, and he's quickly working. And he and his brother are working on the changes in it because Yank is supposed to go to Broadway, and we're looking forward to that. There's much to talk about with all of these people about the nature of their musicals and the musicals in general, about how they get their message across, because that's our subject.